Hey, welcome back to Rob's Garage Woodworking. Today we're going to put together the AlgoLaser DIY kit. Look over the whole instruction set before you do it. There's a limit switch here. That limit switch gets mounted on the long bar, and there's 4 screw holes there. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to get that one. So that sits lengthwise. That's this guy here. Then the other one, you'll notice it has this bump stop here. That goes to the outside. Okay, so those bump stops are both at the opposite end. So this is the top of the machine here, and this is the bottom of the machine. The one with the scale on it has these mounting holes here. Those mounting holes are what fits your control board on. Okay, that control board gets mounted like this. Okay, so now you know which ones to start with. So M5 by 8. What does that mean? M5 is the size of the bolt, and 8 is 8 millimeters. So that's 8 millimeters from here to the tip. Okay, from like the flat part of the head to the tip, not the outside, but from here to here. Okay, this goes in between. So the short pieces go in between the long pieces. The M5 by 25 screw goes here, goes into here. That's not a screwdriver, that's an Allen key. So, alright, here we go. I don't like to waste time. Hand tighten those after. Then what they want you to do is put the laser assembly on. So these wheels slide in here. Okay, you see how that fits? This actually just slides between the wheels. Okay, and you just slide that in. See what I'm doing here? I'm just feeding it in. Okay, alright, and that's how it sits nicely. So the laser assembly will go on here. Your bump stops are up here. You slide this on from the bottom, which is where I am. Alright, so now we have this on. We have to turn it over upside down, and we have to put these brackets on the corners. Okay, these are the corner reinforcing brackets, and they are the M5 by 14 screw. So the M5 by 14 screw is the shorter screw. So these are your brackets, right? So put the bracket there. $14mm hex bolt. Sorry, 14mm Allen bolt. Ah, that's much better. Alright, so we're going to give it a final tighten by hand here on these. There's 2 holes here. This is the long rail. The feet go on the long rail side. So we'll tighten those on. Okay, those are hand tight. So do all 4. These are the end plates. They fit on the ends. The end plates have a space for the belt to go through. Okay, here we are. So this is your end plate. It's got a space for the belt to go through. So you have to put it so that the belt lines up in this little trough here. So I'm going to put the end plates on, and it says to assemble with the M5 by 14. So that's the medium size screw, right? Same one that you just used. So the M5 by 14 screw, you have the spot for the belt, you have the hole here. We are going to line this up and shoot the bolt. Okay. And you can adjust that after if need be. And every one of these gets one, right? So we have this one here. See how they fit? Nice. So now we put the belt in. You see there's a smooth side and then there's a ribbed side. Okay, the ribbed side goes down. So this whole belt goes in like this, so you can just feed that through. So the rib side is at the bottom. Now we have to put a bolt here to hold this in place. Okay, we're not going to tighten anything down yet. We just got to hold this in place. So we're going to put a bolt in it with a washer. So that's 8 millimeters. We are going to put the washer on. We're going to line this up. I'm just going to set this in my gun because it's easier. I'm going to lift this up and I'm going to tighten it. So the belt is sticking up a little bit. It's caught by the washer. It's pinched in there and pinched in place. Okay. We'll do that with both of them. Lift the belt up a little bit so it gets pinched. There we go. Give you a nice close-up view of it. Belt like that. Alright, so it has to go under the wheel, over top of this gear with the teeth, and the teeth match the teeth on the belt, okay? So, since I've done it this way, I have to bring the belt. Now make sure your belt is straight. Make sure it's straight, okay? So you bring it underneath, and this is where it'd be helpful if I had a small screwdriver to pick that up with. You can use a small screwdriver or whatever. I'm just going to use this automotive pick because they're tiny and they're useful. Okay, come on. So, bring the belt up, make sure it's flat, put it over top of the gear, and then it's got to go under this next wheel. There we go. Feeding down. Now, comes through, make sure your belt, again, is straight. Make sure it's on the wheel, on the gear wheel. Make sure it's perfectly straight, then feed it through this hole. I'm just going to bend it a little bit so that I can get it through the hole. There we go. So, once again, triple check, and you get the M5 by 8 with the washer on it. And load this up. Now, we have to pull on this a little bit, okay? Pull a little bit so that this is tight, but not overly tight. So give it a little bit of a pull, and then lift up like this, and shoot your bolt. Okay? Just snug. Don't kill it. Alright. And that should be tight, but not too tight. Okay? Because if it's overly tight, then it won't work all that well. Okay? Yeah, that looks good. We're going to do the other one. Now, we're supposed to be able to move this. Now, why? This looks like mine's jumping a little bit. So this one needs to be tighter because it's jumping. So I am going to loosen this off and pull this side a little bit tighter and tighten it back up. Okay. Now it's turning smoothly. It's not jumping. Feels maybe just a touch too tight, so I'm going to loosen it just a little bit. Just adjust these until you have it perfect. Okay. Alright, I think that's as good as I'm going to get it. Assemble the limit switch. Okay. Okay, here's a little bracket, and this tiny little screw here is M2 5x6, and the notch side here faces you, and it goes on the first hole. So let's get a little closer and get this one. This fits this direction. Get your little tiny screwdriver, your little tiny screw, and put it in there, and just start it, and then get your other screw. We're just going to hand start both of these. So let's tighten that all the way. So get the limit switch with the longer screw, find the hole, put the limit switch on. Limit switch points to the outside, and you have to locate the hole. So locate the hole, put it all the way in, tighten it down. This is a switch, so you don't want to over tighten it because it's made out of like a plastic or something. It's and then you can test the switch. You can hear it go click. Listen, yeah, this is where your mounts are. So your mount the wire has to clear the mount, but you don't want the wire in your work surface. So we're going to cable tie that probably after. So what we're going to do before we do anything is we're going to mount this here. So this fits in. It actually fits right in. So when you put it there, it'll kind of lock itself in a position. Now, so M5 by 14, so that means they're M5 size, 14 millimeters. Put these in. All right. So line this up. Alright, so just tighten this a little bit. Don't kill it. So here's the little spots of the cable, and this goes on to the limit switch, and it doesn't matter either side because it's a switch, because it's just going to interrupt the circuit. So there's not a right or a left or anything. You just have to slide these little guys on. Again, you have a coupler, a wiring harness. The way it fits is that you have these grooves here that fits on the outside here. So that fits like this, and you just slide it in. If it doesn't fit the way you're putting it in, it's probably backwards. And again, your other limit switch. So you'll take these and you'll attach this to your other limit switch. And this is so hard to see. I need glasses, I think. So we take the laser. Obviously, here's your back. It slides in like a dovetail here. You slide this guy in. It helps to line it up from the top. Slide it in. And which hole do you put it in? Second from the bottom, it looks like. So we'll put that in. And then what we do is we just tighten the screw by hand. And that sets the laser in. Now, why does my laser assembly feel loose? Okay, let's try that. 8 mil. I'll loosen this off a little bit. That was kind of complicated. So I'm pushing down on the wheel. I'm pushing up on the assembly. I'm going to tighten this up. Let's do that with this one too. Need a wrench here. And here. Okay, it's adjusted, it's in place. Now we bring over our next things here. So you have two. You have a yellow one that goes to the laser. You have a white one. Once again, you can see there's a little divot here that corresponds to that one there. So slide that in. Okay. This one fits in the back. One. And make sure that goes all the way in. Okay. Alright, it has a few cable ties that they provided. And one thing that we want to do is that we just want to keep this out of the way. So I'm going to cable tie this down here. And just around this whole thing, it doesn't matter. In this particular spot. So I'm just going to do that here. And alright, I'm going to leave this open, okay, because there's your little ports here, okay, that goes there. Get that out of the way. Now this one, there's a limit switch here, so you want to keep this kind of away from the limit switch. So I'm going to try to straighten this out a little bit. And this has got to go back and forth, so this has got to go all the way to the end and back. Okay, and to hit the limit switch. So I am just going to cable tie this like up here. So there's a couple of holes here, and cable tie it up here. So it doesn't get pulled. Okay. And that should be fine. Again, there's another limit switch up here, which I don't want this to interfere with. So, I'll just feed it through here. And then we'll go around the cable. So, I've learned this is a spacer for your laser, so keep that. It comes with keys. The keys turn the unit off or on. Right now it's in the on position. I don't need the keys. It comes with a little wrench. So the back of the laser assembly that I just adjusted, it came with a wrench. I could have used that, but I didn't notice. And then this thing here, this is the antenna. This goes onto the antenna port here. So we're going to tighten that up. Tighten the antenna on. And then this swivels around so you can move that and you can raise your antenna. Your port for your computer, port for USB, and like it looks like a LAN port, I think. I'm not 100% on that. So you've got a USB cable, so that can plug in there. You've got your power supply. So your power supply plugs into your plug. So in, down at the bottom here, that gives you your power. That's all the way in. Ah, that's better. Success! Alright, went to its home position, went to the stop switches. That's beautiful. That was really cool. Let's do that again. Gonna turn that off. Gonna move this. Alright. So that was fun. Press power. Power comes on. Goes to both the stop switches. Aligns, hits the stop switches, moves out, and then brings back just so that it touches the stop switches. That is really, really cool. So I hope that you find this video helpful. It's easy to assemble. There was a couple of things that I thought could have been shown better, so I tried to cover those with the video. So far I'm impressed with the product. I think it's a great value for the money. I think the build quality seems pretty good. I've tried it out on a couple little things, and I'm just kind of learning how to use it, and it's pretty cool. I really like it. So if you're interested in one of these, please see the link either in the video if I can figure out how to put it in the video. I will, of course, have it in my description so you can see it there. Anyway, thanks for watching.